If you're anything like me, you started your business for freedom, fulfillment, perhaps even more fun and, let's be honest, the dream of sweatpants all day. No judgment, but somewhere along the way things got, let's say, complicated. On paper, my business was thriving, but in reality, it didn't feel like mine anymore. And I see this all the time. Entrepreneurs who make it only to wake up to a business that runs them. So today I'm sharing 9 lessons I wish I'd learned earlier. Lessons that will help you realign, simplify, and design a business that works for you. Because success shouldn't feel off. Now's the time to shift before it takes even more from you. So let's dive in. Lesson 1. What if success takes you somewhere you don't even want to go? Most entrepreneurs chase growth without stopping to ask, where is this actually leading me? You can hit every goal and still end up in a business that doesn't fit you at all. Ask yourself, am I just building a business that looks good on paper but doesn't actually fit my life? Because here's the thing, success isn't just about growth, it's about growing in the right direction. Imagine setting out on a road trip, trusting your GPS to get you to your destination. You follow every turn, convinced you're heading the right way. But when you finally arrive, it's not where you wanted to be, not even close. Most people push forward assuming they're on the right path until something makes them stop. A feeling, an inner knowing, that quiet voice saying, this isn't it. That's exactly what happened to one of my clients. She followed all the advice out there. Book more clients, build out a full offer suite, scale fast. And it worked, at least to a certain degree. She doubled her revenue in a year. Awesome, right? Or maybe not? Because instead of feeling successful, she felt trapped. When I asked her to pause and really think about what she wanted, the answer was clear. Not just a bigger business, but one that gave her back her time and created predictable income without constantly running on empty. And that meant doing things differently. Because what's the point of building something successful if you hate running it? So, before you focus on scaling, pause and ask yourself, is this even the business I want to be growing? Because the truth is, speed doesn't matter if you're chasing someone else's version of success. Lesson 2. Are you measuring success in a way that actually supports the life you want? You are checking all the boxes. More revenue, more clients, more visibility. But why does it still feel like a race you can't win? Maybe the real problem isn't where you're going, but how you are measuring your progress. Most entrepreneurs measure success with one number: revenue. And that's the biggest mistake you can make. Because here's what happens. You hit your first 10K month and it feels incredible. But then you see someone online talking about their 100K month and suddenly you feel bad about your own success. Then you hit 6 figures, but someone else is at 7. Oh well, that means that's the new success benchmark, right? So let's go after that one. So your revenue keeps climbing, your work hours, your stress, and your exhaustion climb right along with it. The goalpost never stops moving unless you decide where it actually is. Imagine training for a marathon, pacing yourself, pushing through, knowing you will make it if you keep going. But every time you get close, someone moves the finish line further down the road. At some point, you're not running toward a goal anymore. You're just running, feeling exhausted and wondering why you even signed up for this in the first place. That's exactly what happens when you define success the way others tell you to. I had a client who was chasing the $1 million business because that's what she saw everyone else aiming for. But when we actually mapped out what success meant to her, she realized she wanted a business that lets her step back. So we flipped the focus. Instead of chasing a number, we built a model that gave her a stable income, a 3-day work week, and guilt-free time off. And the moment she stopped trying to keep up and started designing her own path, that's when her business felt like a success. So let me ask you, what actually defines success for you? Because if you don't define it, someone else will. And you will spend your whole life chasing something that was never meant for you. By the way, if you've ever felt like you were chasing a goal that didn't make you happy, drop a "yep, been there" in the comments below. I want to see how many of us have fallen into this trap. Now over to lesson 3. Is your work built around your brilliance or just a to-do list that never ends? Success isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually works for you. If your business feels like a grind, it's not because you're not working hard enough. It's because you're spending too much time on the wrong things. Imagine you take a fish out of water and tell it, buddy, You really need to get better at running. Now, don't laugh. Because that's what most entrepreneurs do to themselves. They force themselves to be well-rounded, to get good at everything, to grind through work that drains them, because they think that's just what it takes. Don't get me wrong, it's actually not the worst strategy when you're just starting out. But as a more established business owner, success isn't about doing everything, but about doubling down on what you are naturally brilliant at. Imagine trying to turn a world-class sprinter into a long-distance swimmer. Could they eventually figure it out? Sure. But would it be a painful, exhausting process? Absolutely. Meanwhile, if you just let them run, they excel effortlessly. Your business should be designed around what makes you powerful, not force you to struggle through things that drain you. Let me give you an example. A client of mine loved deep dive strategy sessions, but she absolutely hated social media. And guess what? She spent half her week forcing herself to post like a mad woman on Instagram because she thought she had to. When we redesigned her business around her strength, guest interviews, referral partnerships, and live masterclasses, everything changed. She got more clients with less effort, doing work she loved. When your business aligns with your brilliance, it stops feeling like work. So, take a hard look at your day-to-day work. What feels natural, energizing, and effortless? And what's just draining the heck out of you? Your business should amplify what makes you brilliant, not bury it under a pile of things you should be doing. Now a quick check-in. So far we've uncovered why success might be leading you the wrong way, how the wrong metrics keep you stuck, and why working harder isn't the answer. Now let's dive into a shift that can change the way your business feels every single day. Lesson 4. Is your business model helping you thrive or draining the life out of you? Most entrepreneurs don't realize their business model might be completely out of sync with the life they actually want. Because here's the thing. Your business isn't just about what you do, it's about how it's structured. And your model doesn't align with the way you want to work, your time or your energy, it's going to feel like you're carrying a backpack full of bricks. I see this all the time. Entrepreneurs wondering why their business feels so heavy, when the truth is, they're just running it in a way that drains them. Imagine buying a home at a dream location, only to realize that every single room of the house needs constant fixes. The layout is awkward, the upkeep is exhausting. So instead of enjoying it, you're stuck managing and adjusting just to make it work. That's exactly what happens when you build a business model that isn't designed around you. For example, a creative entrepreneur I know was running a design studio. On paper, it was thriving, consistent projects, solid team, steady revenue, but behind the scenes, she was miserable. The more she scaled, the less joy she felt. Instead of designing, she was managing people, juggling meetings, and drowning in day-to-day operational work. She was too busy to enjoy the success she'd built. So we flipped the model. She shifted from an agency to a boutique, high-touch service with fewer premium clients and less team management. And suddenly, more time, more space to breathe and create, more profit with less effort. And most importantly, she finally loved her business again. The right business model should support your desired lifestyle, not work against it. So ask yourself, do I actually enjoy the way I'm working? Is this model built around my strength and what lights me up? And does the business give me more of the good things I want? Or does it take them away? Because if the answer isn't a resounding yes, it's time to rethink how your business is built. A few small shifts can turn a draining, overwhelming model into something that feels easy, profitable, and sustainable. If this lesson is hitting home and you're realizing your business model might need a shift, let me know in the comments. I'd love to read your insights. Lesson 5. Can your business run without you holding it all together? If you took a couple of weeks off, would your business survive? Or would everything fall apart? A real business can run without you being glued to your inbox 24/7. If yours can't, let's talk about it now. One of the sneakiest ways to keep yourself stuck in business, thinking you have to do everything yourself. And we've talked about that before. I mean, I get it. Your business is your baby. You build it from the ground up. You know how to do the things the right way. But your business only moves forward when you do. You don't have a business. You have a very demanding job. And if you're the bottleneck, everything slows down. Growth, momentum, and most importantly, your quality of life. Imagine trying to run a restaurant where you're the chef, the waiter, the janitor. How many customers could you serve before you completely burn out? At some point, you have to let go of the I can do it faster myself mindset and start building the support system that actually allows your business to grow. And that's exactly where one of my clients was, handling admin, content, client work, and putting out fires 24/7. She told me no one can do it as fast as I can and exactly the way I want it done. Sound familiar? But when we put the right support in place, hiring a VA, systemizing the repeatable stuff, she freed up 15 hours a week and her revenue went up because now she had the space to focus on the work that moved the needle and was in her genius zone. Delegating or outsourcing isn't a luxury, it's a growth strategy. So take a look at your business. Where are you the bottleneck? Because until you fix that, growth is going to feel like a constant uphill battle. Now let's look at the next lesson. Lesson 6. Are your systems saving you time or just keeping you busy? Systems and tech should make your life easier, not harder. But let's be honest, most business owners get buried in workflows and tech stacks that do the opposite. Because the right systems shouldn't feel like another thing on your plate. They should feel like a supportive backbone, running quietly in the background, making your life easier without you even thinking about them. But here's what happens. People overcomplicate their systems. They pile on new software, build endless workflows, and suddenly they're spending more time managing their systems than actually running their business. Your systems should work like a self-cleaning oven. Set it, forget it, and let it do the job without needing constant babysitting. If your workflows and tools require your attention every 5 minutes, they're not effective systems. They're a bunch of additional tasks on your never-ending to-do list. More automation doesn't always mean more freedom. Sometimes it just means more headaches. Like my next example. Before working with me, a client spent weeks building the perfect proposal and onboarding system. Emails, calendars, invoices, resources, everything connected. Technically flawless, except every time she signed a new client, the workflow felt so clunky and unnatural that she just avoided using it altogether. In the end, she ditched the whole thing, switched to a simple spreadsheet and some free tools. The result? Everything felt effortless again, because the best system isn't the fanciest one, it's the one you'll use to get the job done. So, if your systems feel bloated, ask yourself, does this actually make my life easier? Is this designed around how I naturally work best? Or am I just adding more layers of complexity for no reason? Because a business built on ease and simplicity, that's a business that lasts. All right, quick check-in. So far, we've covered how success can lead you down the wrong path, why your business should play to your strength, and how the way you set up, structure, and support your business impacts how easy or hard it feels to run. Now, let's talk about something that directly affects your sales and marketing. Because if those aren't clicking, your business will always feel like a struggle. Lesson 7. Does your marketing feel like a natural extension of you or a performance? Marketing shouldn't feel like a performance. If showing up online feels like wearing a stiff suit that doesn't fit, it's because you're trying to be someone you're not. And let me be very clear. You do not need to be Instagram perfect to attract clients, but you do need to stop marketing in a way that feels forced and unnatural to you. Because the truth is, your best marketing strategy is you, unapologetically. Think about your favorite coffee shop. You don't go there because they plaster voted number one coffee in town all over their windows, or because it has polished counters, curated decor, baristas in matching aprons. You go there because something about it just feels right. Maybe it's a cozy vibe, the barista who knows your order before you even say it, or the way that first sip makes your whole day better. That's how marketing works too. People don't just buy your services because you have the best on offer. They buy into you, your energy, your perspective, the way you do things differently. So if your marketing feels a bit awkward, try leaning more into who you naturally are. When it feels effortless for you, you will show up more in that energy. That's exactly what draws the right people in. Let me give you an example. One of my clients was stuck in robot mode, trying to write social media posts that were polished, professional, and strategic. But guess what? No one cared. They fell flat. So we made one shift. We stopped writing what she thought she should say and started writing real life stories, real opinions, real quirks, and boom, her audience came alive. Her DMs filled up, people felt connected, and that is when her business took off. The lesson? Stop trying to be good at marketing. Just be more of you. That's what people actually resonate with. So if you've been struggling to market yourself, ask, am I trying to sound right or am I showing up as myself? Lesson number 8. Are you selling to the right people or just trying to convince anyone who will listen? Selling should feel the same way. If you constantly feel like you're convincing people, it's not a sales problem, it's a positioning problem. The right people should already be excited to hear how you can help them by the time they talk to you. If you've ever thought, I love what I do, but I hate selling, you're not alone. But here's the thing, you don't actually hate sales. What you hate is sales that feel forced, scripted, and like you're trying to convince someone to say yes. Because the best sales process doesn't start when you get on a call. It starts way before that, in how you position yourself, how you market, and how clearly your offer speaks to the right people. Think of your favorite restaurant. When you walk in, does the waiter spend 10 minutes explaining why you should have dinner here and how great the food is? No! You already know. You've seen the reviews, heard from friends, maybe checked out the menu. So when you sit down, you're ready to order. Because selling isn't about pushing and persuading. It's about making sure the right people find you in the first place. I worked with a client who dreaded sales calls. She felt like she was constantly proving her worth, dealing with price objections, and hoping people would say yes. The problem wasn't her sales skills. It was how she was showing up before the sales call. So we adjusted her positioning, clarified her offer, and tweaked her messaging. The result? Her calls felt effortless. She wasn't selling, she was making sure they were the right fit. So if sales feel heavy, ask yourself, am I attracting the right people in the first place? Does my marketing position me as the obvious solution? Am I making it easy for people to say yes? Because the best clients, they don't need convincing. They just need clarity. If you've ever been on a sales call where you felt like you had to prove yourself, let me know in the comments below, because I bet you're not alone. Lesson 9. Are you creating an experience that not only keeps clients coming back, but brings others with them? Your best marketing strategy isn't ads, content, or funnels. It's the experience you create for the people who've already said yes. Think about the brands you recommend to friends. You don't recommend them because they had a great sales pitch. You recommend them because the experience was so good. You can't help but talk about it. Your business should be the same way. Most business owners focus all their energy on getting new clients, but they totally ignore what happens after the sales calls. And that's a huge mistake, because the happiest clients turn into repeat clients, referral sources, and your biggest marketing asset. One of my clients built her business almost entirely on referrals. How? She created such an incredible experience that her clients couldn't stop talking about her. And with a little guidance from us, they didn't just rave about her, they actively sent her more business. They brought their peers. They stayed in her world. She didn't need to constantly market. Her business grew from the inside out. So instead of only asking, how do I get more leads? Start asking, how do I make my client experience so good people can't help but talk about it? Because when you do that, marketing becomes easier and sales even more. If you made it this far, you're clearly serious about building a business that works for you. And I cheer you on. If you're ready to make these shifts and want my support, check out the link below this video. Because the best business to build is one that excites you to show up every day.